One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories in the news. President Hakainde Hichilema calls for private sector participation in energy sector. Bank of Zambia maintains monetary policy rate. Government allocates 3 billion kwacha for boreholes and dams. Well, and also in the news, Rotary International Honors Secretary to the Cabinet. Well, with the main news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa and my sign language interpreter is Jennifer Shalyonda. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema has called on the private sector in the country and abroad to work with the government for the quick implementation of plans and achieving the target of producing 10 million megawatts by the year 2030. The president has described the energy deficit that the country is facing as a crisis and a threat to national security, which he says needs urgent attention. President Hichilema says that the effects of the crisis extend to job security and other key sectors which ultimately affects the economic growth of the country and the continent as a whole. And Sarah Miti reports that the head of state was speaking when he officially opened the Energy Forum for Africa at Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka.
Zambia, like other countries on the continent, has been hit by a serious energy deficit as a result of climate change and owing to its dependency on hydropower generation. Today, players in the energy sector in the country and the continent have converged in Lusaka to come up with solutions to the challenges faced in the sector. President Hakainde Hichilema officiated the forum and has tasked the forum delegates to come up with solutions that will address the challenges faced in the sector and to work with government in the implementation of the energy recovery plans.
We have an energy crisis in this country and in the region and beyond in the continent. It's extremely important that we acknowledge this challenge, and for us now as a country, this thing, yes, is occasioned by the drought, quite right, but it is causing now national insecurity to ourselves because we have economic growth objectives and these objectives are being hampered by basically maybe having not planned for this situation, the drought. Of course, the food insecurity is obvious, but the energy insecurity and consequentially insecurities in the whole economy. It is basically creating a situation where we are not creating as many jobs as we would have loved to create for our youthful population in our country, SADC region, and the continent as a whole. In the energy sector, we are committed to the reforms that are necessary, and I must say are long overdue. As a country, we've been sleeping on duty. Basically, we've been in comatose for too long. And the results are clear. Our economy declined from 6% GDP growth per year to minus 2.8%. Unacceptable. Regulatory reforms, legal reforms, we are committed to. So, just to underscore that point, Hope, as an operating environment, you should know you have a government that is your partner. And all you need to do is to isolate the issues that are standing in the way of progress. That's all you need to do. And then we work together towards resolving those issues.
The recovery of the sector requires huge investment, and the president has called on all financial institutions to offer solutions that will support businesses in the sector.
Can we create products to support indigenous Zambians to invest individually or collectively in this sector?
Forum conveners, Mimshak Engineering Consultants, have assured that the forum will come up with solutions that will make Zambia energy sufficient by the year 2030.
We are not here, sir, to lament about the crisis. We are here to seek and provide solutions to the challenges that we face in the energy sector as a whole, in terms of transmission infrastructure as well as generation infrastructure. We believe that Africa and indeed Zambia will be energy efficient by 2030.
Hosting Minister Makozo Chikote also stated the current situation in the sector and the opportunities that it offers.
As many of you are aware, Zambia is currently facing an electricity deficit resulting from the prolonged drought which the country is facing. And it has led to severe power rationing, which has affected our national economy and the livelihood of our people. This situation underscores the urgent need to bring together policymakers, industry leaders, researchers, financiers, and innovators to discuss and highlight the opportunities available to attract investment in Zambia.
As the saying goes, with every problem comes an opportunity for solutions. The forum has attracted participation from key sector players from within the country and across the continent and beyond, and gives hope for the energy sector. Sarah Miti reporting for Zanis.
And well, on the other hand, President Hakainde Hichilema has launched countrywide high-resolution area geophysical survey with a call to Zambians to support the exploration exercise. President Hichilema says the exploration exercise is meant to explore the country's mineral resources endowment. Now, during the launch at City Airport in Lusaka, the president stated that the data to be generated during the exploration will be used in organizing the mining sector in an orderly manner. Let us take a look at this.
Government is making steady strides in its efforts to actualize its ambitious target of producing 3 million metric tons of copper in the next 10 years. However, government is fully aware that the existing mines cannot support the production of 3 million tons of copper. This is why government has decided to embark on a nationwide mineral resource exploration mapping to ascertain the country's mineral endowment. It is from the data that is going to be generated from the mapping exercise that government is going to open up the mining sector for more investment. President Hakainde Hichilema was on hand to launch the countrywide high-resolution aerial geophysical survey.
Today we are here to witness this launch of the mapping, if you like, national mapping exercise, survey mapping of our mineral resource endowment. It's a very, very, very important day to some of us who are able to see where we want to go, where we want to take the country in the next 7 years or so. Basically, this is one of the critical ingredients that will allow us to drive the country in the direction of progress, because it's a very, very important resource endowment that we need to exploit and exploit it in an organized manner.
President Hichilema implored Excalibur Smart Mapping, a company engaged to carry out the national mineral exploration, to work ahead of schedule while calling upon Zambians to support the mapping exercise.
Zambians must support this project. This is your project. The results are yours as citizens. And you can now have proper market value for your tenements.
Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Paul Kabuswe said the national mineral mapping exploration exercise is being undertaken for the first time since 1972 under the leadership of President Hichilema.
Your Excellency, I'm excited and glad to be part of this very historic moment at which your country, your administration, for the first time since 1972, we are now able to map the country and be able to understand what Zambia sits on.
Excalibur Smart Mapping assured government that it will produce the best quality data using the latest technology in mineral exploration.
This countrywide high-resolution airborne mapping will create, and I can tell this very clearly, will create the best data room, the best product in Africa. It will be world-class. And
meanwhile, Lusaka Province Minister indicated that the mineral exploration mapping will help in realizing the country's full potential of the mineral endowment.
This event is a demonstration of government's commitment of ensuring that the full potential of our natural resources is realized and contribute towards sustainable development of our country, Zambia.
Government has assured the Zambians that the data to be generated during the mineral exploration mapping will belong to the Zambian people. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makonza.
Well, in other news, the Bank of Zambia Monetary Policy Committee has maintained the monetary policy rate at 13.5% for the third quarter of 2024. Now, Bank of Zambia Governor Dani Kalyaga says the decision was driven by the impact of the drought on the energy and agriculture sectors, leading to an increased food and energy costs. Mitchell Oluwinda has more in this report.
The Bank of Zambia Monetary Policy Committee has maintained the monetary policy rate at 13.5% for the third quarter of 2024. Bank of Zambia Governor Dan Kalyale announced that following the negative effects of the drought that affected key economic sectors, the committee decided to maintain the monetary policy rate. Speaking at a media briefing in Lusaka, Dr. Kalyale attributed the decision to the upward adjustment in the statutory reserve ratio and the recent reforms in the foreign exchange market.
We are referring to. In taking the decision to maintain the policy rate as opposed to raising it, the committee also took into account the impact of the stability of the financial system as well as growth, particularly in 2024 in the work of drought. Now, you may be wondering, we said, as opposed to raising it. It's in the context there is that at 13.5% inflation, the policy rate at 13.5% is below the inflation, which is running at 15.4%. So naturally, one would have expected perhaps for us to raise the policy rate so that it moves into positive territory in terms of in real terms. But as we have indicated, there are a number of extenuating circumstances which we took into account, which led us to arrive at the decision of maintaining it at 13.5%.
With the successful implementation of the debt restructuring, coupled with reforms in the mining sector, the country's economic outlook remains positive. And Dr. Kalyale has noted that the continued implementation of fiscal consolidation measures have remained critical to lowering inflation and maintaining fiscal stability.
That we observe was attributed to improved supply of foreign exchange, particularly from the mining sector, and moderation in demand. The other thing we saw contributing to the recovery of the kwacha against the dollar during this period was that in June, the IMF did complete the third review of our extended credit facility arrangement. That is a very significant development in that we have had now 3 successful completion of the reviews. It happens sometimes that the review cannot be completed, and that could be due to the fact that the program is considered to have gone off track. So what this means is that if the review is concluded positively, it means that the authorities and we here, the Zambian people, are implementing the program that we set for ourselves. And that is an important signal to the rest of the world that Zambia is managing its affairs very well.
Mitchell Oluwinda for Zanis in Lusaka.
Well, and we look at one of the stories making headlines. Minister of Water Development and Sanitation Collins Nzovu says the government has allocated 3 billion kwacha for drilling of 1,500 boreholes and construction of dams across the country. Mr. Nzovu says that this is in response to the drought challenges that have affected the water and agriculture sectors. The minister adds that the money will also go towards rehabilitating an additional 500 boreholes and constructing drinking troughs for livestock and wild animals. He was speaking today in Choma when he called on the Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua. And Mr. Nanjua assured that the province will provide all the technical support to ensure that the program is successful.
Government has decided to approve the budget of about 3 billion kwacha. This will go into drilling of boreholes in excess of 1,500, rehabilitation of another 500 boreholes, construction of dams, construction of water drinking troughs. This is for livestock as well as wild animals. Government is also going to support the construction of various sanitation facilities in the country. Zanis has also performed quite well in one of the dams in Southern Province, and these are dams where now President Hakainde Hichilema's call to us to water harvest will be realized.
We are so grateful, Honorable Minister. We are ready to support, working together with Southern Water and all other NGOs and civil society organizations across the province, those who have come on board to work with us. I want to assure you that we are here, sir, to make sure that whatever government has pronounced, the policy direction of government, is our mandate to ensure that we support and provide that quality supervision for the success of every program and the good implementation of every policy.
Well, and also in the news, Rotary International has conferred Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa with a Paul Harris Medal and a certificate to signify a continued working relationship between the government and the club. Now, Rotary International Director Patrick Chisanga says the gesture is also meant to appreciate government and various interventions. Now, speaking in Lusaka, Mr. Chisanga noted that the Paul Harris Fellowship is the highest level the club can confer on a non-Rotarian member to extend a hand of continued collaboration. Now, Principal Immigration Officer Alice Shanshima was also conferred alongside Mr. Kangwa. Meanwhile, Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa says government appreciates the collaborations with the private sector. Mr. Kangwa noted that the work of the Rotary International is in line with the government's agenda of serving the Zambian people.
It gives me the greatest pleasure to place on your lapel this distinguishing medal, which we call the Paul Harris Fellowship. And it has the bust of Paul Harris, the founder. And let me congratulate you. Harris Fellowship is perhaps it's the highest level we can confer on a non-Rotarian. To say thank you for your support, to extend our hands that we can continue to work together, we can continue to collaborate in various areas. And so this is a very distinguished recognition.
Importance for you is that yours sits on humanitarian service, which is what a public service sets out to do. A public service sets out to serve the Zambian people for our case. And service to mankind is the best that we can do. And when we hear institutions like yours coming on board, we feel encouraged that what you're doing will facilitate. We are very grateful that the New Dawn agenda sits almost the same as the Rotary International agenda. And the areas you've looked at, you start with maternal health. The President has talked about maternal health every day, every meeting. And we're grateful that you've been able to help the government in that area.
Grading of the Tapo-Kalabo-Sikongo border road is expected to commence soon. Minister of Agriculture, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, announced this during his tour of roads in Western Province. Here are the details.
The government has reached an advanced stage in working on the economic road between Zambia and Angola, aimed at enhancing trade between the two sister countries, particularly Western Province and the Moshiko Province in Angola. Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Miropi was in the province to assess the road from Tapo, Kalabo, Congo, earmarked to be upgraded to bituminous standard. Mr. Miropi said the road, once completed, will enhance connectivity between Zambia and Angola.
When this is complete, as I said, this will be a town because there will be huge trade between our two countries, but not only that, goods coming from America, goods coming from South America, earmarked for Zambia, they will be offloaded at Lobito Port, and this will be one of the routes that they use to get goods into Zambia and beyond. So this will be a hive of activities, and that's why we keep saying, let our people prepare themselves so that they can participate in the trade, they can participate in running this board.
Kalabo Central Constituency Member of Parliament Chinga Miut and the business community in Congo district are elated with the development.
We better have hope to the government, the New Dawn, and we should continue working with the New Dawn. And also we should prepare ourselves to make sure that we use the road to develop our district and the province at large.
Waitumela hulu abarupangira mkwakwa wakuzwa kwa Mungu kuyofita kenji pa boda ya Angola. Waitumela kakuli limota za runa zizielele mkwakwa ufosalile. Watibanga limota za zashwa moni mo. Kala habaru upula musa urupula kurupangira mkwakwa oyofita kwa boda. Waitumela kubona.
Zambia ni Angola. Business kabanga bunolo nebe kuti mulimire makabeji kwanu mwakona kuisa kwa Angola molekisa kwa Angola balimi tomato rice hakuna so lubona kuti abalutseza mkwakao business yalu na ikaba ande lukakala kolekisanga zolu chala kwanu lwaisa kwa Angola kwale rice cabbage tomato kwa Angola balimi tomato so ingelu na kwanu lwaitimelanga so lwakona kolekisa kafalo kabanga bunolo.
Over the past years, the government of Zambia and Angola have been engaging on how best the two countries could tap into each other's economic potential. Darlington Kabambe reporting in Mulundu border post between Zambia and Angola.
Well, we now take our first break. We'll be right back shortly for more interesting news.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar platform, channel 6 DTT and 458 DTH. Don't miss. Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH.
Well, the news continues. Now, Zambia Correctional Service, ZCS, in Central Province has supplied over 37,000 by 50 kilogram bags of maize to the Food Reserve Agency, FRA. And Deputy Regional Commander Michael Sakala says shelling is still underway at its joint venture farm. Now, speaking when Central Province Minister Mwabashi Kenkulukusa toward Momboshi ZCS farm in Chisamba district, the Deputy Regional Commander says that the service will in October 2024 start planting early maize. Let us take a look at this.
This is part of the 620 hectares of the Zambia Correctional Services crop field at Momboshi Dam in Chisamba district. It is one of the most productive areas of Central Province, but with increased load shedding, 55 hectares of a wheat field is threatened with a reduced harvest as water supply has been compromised. Momboshi Zambia Correctional Services Deputy Officer in Charge, Patricia Mwilola, explained this when Central Province Minister Mwabashike Nkulukusa toured the farm.
The only challenge that we've been having is electricity. So it's very difficult when we see electricity just comes in the night. So it is very difficult for the center people to have a full revolution just in one night. So right now it has started drying. So we've stopped watering it because we are hardening it. I think there will be slightly lower yield than expected because of the water shortages.
Mr. Kulukusa is, however, concerned that Momboshi Dam is underutilized.
Because from where it is there, where is the wall there? It goes almost 12 kilometers, isn't it? Yes. So you can imagine what this water can do if well utilized.
And later, Zambia Correctional Services Deputy Regional Commander Michael Sakala said the service was able to supply over 37,000 by 50 kilogram bags of maize to the Food Reserve Agency.
As a region, we've managed to supply 37,750 times 50 bags of maize to FRI, and the shedding is still ongoing at Zambia Egypt's Joint Venture Farm. We also intend to supply FRI.
Shupekile Nkunika for Zanis in Chisamba.
And also in Luapula Province, the Food Reserve Agency in Mwense District has also secured over 48,000 by 50 kilogram bags of white maize from local small-scale farmers. And District Commissioner Hapiston Mwape says the district is following their presidential directive to ensure that the national storage are safe. Kasweka Zakaimbo has the details.
With the current drought that has adversely hit 84 districts in the country, government, through the Food Reserve Agency, has been purchasing excess maize produce from farmers through the designated FRS satellite depots dotted across the country to support other affected areas. So far, Mwense District has bought over 40,000 50 kilogram bags of maize from small-scale farmers to feed into the national food basket.
We've bought 48,818 because this will be our buffer stock. If the nation runs out of food, we'll run to FRI. So if we sell to FRI, it means that everyone will be catered for in terms of a situation where we have a severe hunger. So our main purpose of doing this is just to comply to the directive of the president that no one should die from hunger.
We saw actually from the results of the midline study which we did for the scaling up nutrition, in terms of households experiencing hunger and food security hasn't been so bad.
Thank you.
And this can be evidenced from the results you are showing, the cereals which you harvested in the previous season.
60-year-old Jairo Chola, a small-scale farmer in Mwense District, is happy with the current immediate payout system.
Nashitisha masaka 120 kubika pona nemu nayo naishitira mufundo wa kuishitira so ngataka bati bale tupera ku mufundo wingi ndemo no Mwense mtu akwata kulimo kala mukwa kujira bali 5000 mukaiba ofetwa shitishe pa pire fema desano no kutupera batupera shonse.
The district administrative officer attributes the successful buying of excess maize to government's strict smuggling measures and policies put in place.
So far, any suspected activity of smuggling, our informers and our well-wishers in the community are able to report to the relevant authorities. These things have really helped us keep this smuggling. You know, it is very difficult. We are just close to the neighboring country, which is the DRC. And the commodity of maize, it is on high demand.
By selling the excess produce to government, farmers in Mwense District are playing a key role in contributing to national food security. Kasweka Sakaimbo reporting, Mwense District, Luapula Province.
And our Chief Mulendema of the Ila people in Mumbwa district has commended government for the construction of palaces for traditional leaders. Details in this report.
Chief Mulendema is full of praises for the government after inspecting the construction of his palace, complemented with a rehabilitated 14-kilometer road. Construction of the palace, funded under the Constituency Development Fund, is being carried out by the Zambia National Service.
We have three palaces that have been built. This is Senior Chief Shakumbila and Chief Kaindu, then the third one here for Mulendema Chiefdom. We are very thankful, and we are still looking forward for the second phase, where the remaining chiefs will have their structures erected.
The council is carrying out the road rehabilitation works.
Council has been able to acquire and procure earth-moving equipment. That is how we've managed to improve this road. And thanks to government, New Dawn government, for the increased CDF. These are the results. We are very, very thankful.
Additionally, the Zambia Correctional Service site clerk and the Mumbwa District Works Supervisor have provided insights into the ongoing infrastructure projects.
What you are seeing here, this is the chief's main palace, chief's house, and we have a conference room and two retainers' house.
In three, the main house is at roof level. The one chief retainer is at roof level. The other one is at pulpit level. Then the meeting room is also at the roof level. Actually, even the ball has been drilled.
Krugasiankuru, Zanis, Mumbwa.
And Paramount Chief Chitimukulu of the Bemba-speaking people says the current drought-induced power crisis that the country is experiencing is beyond ZESCO. And speaking when a team from ZESCO paraded courtesy call on him at the Ngwena Heritage Site in Mungwi, the traditional leader noted that despite the current load-shedding situation being challenging, it extends beyond the power utilities' control. He expressed happiness that despite the adverse effects of climate change affecting the country's electricity supply, the power utility company is working on several measures to mitigate the impact. Meanwhile, ZESCO Senior Manager Corporate Affairs, Karisto Chitamfia, hailed Paramount Chief Chitimukulu for recognizing the efforts that the power utility company is making.
Yes, understandably, you cannot tamper with nature. When nature comes, it comes with its own effects. But to see resilience and then commitment, because what you have seen is there is a lot of commitment, even under these circumstances and so forth. I'm sure ZESCO is learning something. We shall come out with new ideas and so forth.
We'd like to appreciate Mwenelubemba, Paramount Chief Chitimukulu, because he's very supportive of the role that ZESCO is playing. We were quite impressed with the interaction that we had with Mwenelubemba. He recognized the fact that even under these very difficult circumstances, ZESCO was still there. We appreciate that people are hating, but we live in the same community. We are not exempted as ZESCO employees. Believe me, whatever groups you are in, whether it's D, whether it's C, we are in there as well, and we understand exactly how you feel.
We have more news coming up. Stay tuned. We take a break.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Thank you for still being with us. We continue with the news. Now, over 6,000 households in Pika district are earmarked to benefit from the drought response emergency cash transfer. Now, District Administrative Officer Charity Chilwa disclosed this in an interview with the Zambia News and Information Services Zanis shortly after flagging off the disbursement of funds in Chikufu ward in Chilonga area. Details in this report.
The government has flagged off the drought response emergency cash transfer in Mpika district. The funds will benefit over 6,000 beneficiaries in the district. Flagging off the disbursement of funds in Nachikofu ward, Mpika District Administrative Officer Charity Chirwa said that the initiative is aimed at alleviating the effects of the drought.
In response to the prolonged dry spell experienced in the 2023-2024 farming season. Under Mpika district, we have 6,240 beneficiaries for this program. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, with the support from the cooperating partners, have provided assistance in form of emergency cash transfers to vulnerable households that have been affected by the drought.
Beneficiaries have been urged to use the funds prudently.
Payments have been started. Use these funds prudently to the process which is to help alleviate the drought.
We will ensure that these funds are used according to the intended purpose and buy fertilizer so that we do not suffer after planting if we will have good rainfall this year. Peggy Gutinyu for Zanis in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
And our government has rolled out Smart Care Pro to 400 health facilities since the launch of the project in 2023. Minister of Health Elijah Muchima says the Smart Care Pro is a critical investment for government in health service delivery. He said this through his Permanent Secretary for Donor Coordination, George Sinyangwe, during the Advancing Smart Care Sustainability and Growth in Lusaka.
Government, through the Ministry of Health, has today celebrated the successful rollout of Smart Care Pro to 400 health facilities since its launch last year. Minister of Health Elijah Muchima was represented by Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Donor Coordination, George Sinyangwe, at Advancing Smart Care Sustainability and Growth Celebration held in Lusaka today. Government has since reaffirmed its commitment to rolling out the Smart Care Pro to 600 more health facilities this year.
We are also reaffirming our commitment as the Government of the Republic of Zambia to advancing healthcare through innovation and collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin by expressing my utmost appreciation to all our partners, especially the United States government, the Electronic Government Division, Smart Zambia Institute, and our collaborators from the private sector.
And Smart Care Zambia National Coordinator, Pesi Chinyama, highlights more on the program.
They know that our insistence has been into the far areas, the remote areas, the areas that perhaps these services would be difficult to get because of human needs. Sometimes people want to be in the more modern areas, but technology can get there. The digitization agenda can get there. So we are hoping, Minister of Finance, that through this project we will demonstrate the equalizing aspect that the head of state has continued to talk about.
Also at the event, United States Ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzalez, says that digitization of patients' record is a milestone aligned with Zambia's National Digital Health Strategy of 2022 to 2026.
This robust partnership between the U.S. government and the government of Zambia to develop and implement smart care enables the Ministry of Health to make a meaningful impact on health services at a national, provincial, district, and site levels through digitization. It is the future. Jointly building a sustainable, country-owned data system means that healthcare providers, public health officials, program managers, governments, and many other stakeholders have timely access to quality health data in order to make good decisions on how to benefit patients and how to benefit the nation.
For Zanis News in Lusaka, I am Raphael Chiti.
And our Mumbwa district has recorded unprecedented development following the increase of the Constituents Development Fund CDF. Now, Council Chairperson Charlie Masumo says many lives have improved through empowerment and skills development. We have more in this report.
The Constituency Development Fund CDF is an initiative that has changed the status of many districts in the country. Mumbwa district in Central Province has had a share in receiving the CDF, thereby recording unprecedented development. Mumbwa Council Chairperson gave an update on the progress made under the CDF.
From 2021 up to now, a lot of projects have been completed, and some have even been commissioned by our ministers. But we still have some running projects, which I'm hoping maybe before the end of this year, all the projects will be completed. And the projects are ranging from water system, including boreholes, road network, health centers, schools, desks, to some extent even dams. We have constructed some dams, crossing points, and many more.
For Mumbwa Council, the goal for every child to sit on a desk is expected to be achieved before the end of the year. Local entrepreneurs have been contracted to make over 10,000 desks, which have been distributed in over 200 schools dotted across the district.
And we are hoping that before the end of this year, all the schools will have been catered for, and there will be no one sitting on the floor. So in total, the whole district, we have done close to 10,000, but we are hoping that maybe by the end of this year, we can reach 25,000.
Women and youths have had a share of the CDF through empowerment loans and skills development, to mention a few. For Zanis, Sheila Masua in Mumbwa, Central Province.
In our preparations for the 2024 Kulamba traditional ceremony for the Choa people of Zambia, Malawi and Mozambique, scheduled for Saturday, August 24, 2024, have intensified. An organizing chairman general, Chief Bangangombe, has announced that the Choa people will converge at Mkaika in Katete for the annual spectacular event. Details in this report.
As the date for this year's Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people under Kalonga Gaundi approaches, with the main arena at Mkaika in Katete district almost ready to host the event, excitement among the Chewa people is high. This year's ceremony will attract martyrs from the three countries, and Chairman General for the organizing committee, Chief Mbangombe, has told reporters that the head of states from the three countries are expected to attend. The event is also expected to attract traditional leaders not only across Zambia,
but also from Malawi and Mozambique.
Chiefs will start coming on 19th this month, August, from Malawi, Zambia, Mozambique, all over. You are seeing there, they started those preparations 2 months ago. All the dances surrounding this area in Chief Bangombe, wherever each village where there are those dancers, they have been coming to perform in getting ready. That's showing people that this year His Majesty Karonga Gaudi has called the Kuramba ceremony to take place.
The Katete Town Council is confident the town is ready to host the event, as the hospitality industry has prepared itself adequately.
Hotel industries, they'll find their business boost, and I'm also calling upon those to maintain their prices. Being as a city father, I'm so great because we will collect a lot of revenue to the people that they'll come, and also our subject, they'll have a lot of market. It's also a business opportunity. It's also about tourism.
Lubas Mtafela, Zanis, Katete District, Eastern Province.
Well, and finally in the news, we look at sports, where government says golf is a growing sport that enhances skills development and showcases the country's potential to host world-class golf events, leading to positive economic benefits. Now, Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts, Elvis Nkandu, says government is always happy to see that the private sector takes up initiatives that enhance skills development. Nkandu said this when he officiated at the Kenneth Kaunda at 100 Years Golf Tournament at State House. He said the event is a clear demonstration of government's commitment towards growing the art of sports in the country. And speaking at the same event, Minister of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Mohanga said his ministry will continue to work closely with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts, stating that the sports is one way of putting Zambia on the world map. The Permanent Secretary called the Ministry on the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts to leverage on golf as a sport, as it has potential to grow and expose what Zambia has to offer.
As Minister responsible for sport, I am thrilled to see this prestigious tournament come to life. Golf is a growing sport, and events like this championship not only enhance skills development, but also showcase our country's potential to host world-class golfing events, leading to positive economic benefits. As government, we are always happy when private sector institutions take up initiatives such as this one, because they enhance skills development and supplement government efforts of ensuring talent is identified and skills are well harnessed. Similarly, I am happy that the Zambia Golf Legends Championship has included a junior golf clinic which targets golf development at the grassroots and child level. The people of Zambia have been looking forward to witnessing results in sport, such as qualifications to major sports tournaments. And I challenge the Zambia Golf Union, which I know is part of the local organizing committee, to produce from this championship, which will take place for 3 years, international tournament participants. We want Zambia to win medals at international golf tournaments going forward.
So today we have an iconic day that we are celebrating, KK at 100, and thank you, Bwanakawache, for coming, to be able to be with us, because this is just one of the events that we had actually planned in the year as we are celebrating KK at 100, but Zambia is also celebrating 60 years of independence, so it's actually something that we are doing to be able to ensure that people know our history. But here is a man that we are celebrating who was an ardent golf player as well. The same pitch where you were playing, he played there many, many games at that particular pitch with many iconic people around the world. So for you to come and honor him with the golf tournament today, we just want to say thank you very much.
So all I can say for now is thank you very much to all of you. I know you have other things to do, but you've taken your time out. You've come here for our father. It's not for me or my brothers or my sisters, but for the old man. And for that, we're very, very grateful.
Well, that sporting item brings us to the end of the news, and before I finish, we look at the headlines once again. Hakainde Hichilema calls for private sector participation in energy sector. Bank of Zambia maintains monetary policy rate. Government allocates 3 billion kwacha for boreholes and dams. Well, and also in the news, Rotary International Honors Secretary to the Cabinet. Well, that is all we had for you here at Zanis, and on behalf of the entire production crew, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter has been Jennifer Shalyonda. Stay tuned.